of key plays out there, but that was, to me, that was, showed how both teams they just give it all they got. Everybody ready?
Water for you guys if you want.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the 2022 Class 3A State Baseball runner-ups, number 2 in the state. Coach, congratulations, Coach Piedmont. Just introduce your players and we'll open up for questions. Great job, guys, and a great display of courage and that's what Piedmont kids do.
Yeah, these are two guys that were on the mound today, two of our senior pitchers, and this is Cassius Fairs and Austin Estes.
You want to make any opening comments?
Like I said last night, we knew this series was, two teams are very similar, and it came down to two-run games and one run game. We talked about the team that makes the fewest mistakes is probably going to win, and that's pretty much what happened. Last night we had they made some mistakes in crucial situations, and we took advantage of it. And they did the same thing today in the early innings. They scored in the first 3 innings, and then these two guys shut them down. So did a really good job of controlling a lot of innings. And but there's a couple of times where we just didn't make a play when we had to have it and get a hit when we had to have it. Their guy was really good on the mound. Got to give him a lot of credit. And he kept us off balance the whole game like a guy did game 1. And we could never come up with the hit we had to have. But these two guys right here, man, I'll tell you what. He missed the semifinal game last year because he's injured and he played through it. He didn't miss it, but we didn't have him on the mound. He didn't get to pitch much this year, and he was itching all year to get on the mound. And we tried it. We knew we'd need him in the end, and when it got time in the semifinals, he produced, and today he produced. And same thing with this guy. He slid into second base, and yesterday in game 1, and I didn't think there's any way in the world that he was going to be able to play for us today. And he came in the locker room this morning acting like wasn't anything wrong, and he came out here and competed his little tail off. And that's all you, as a coach, that's all you can ask of your kids. Just to give it everything you got to the last inning. And these two guys were the picture of that. So I'm proud of these guys. Proud to say that as their coach.
Question for Coach right here.
Yeah, coach and players. Obviously this loss hurts right now, but does it? You guys had a great season. We'll talk about the season overall.
Yeah, that's what we told them today after the game was over. There's only one team that's happy at the end of the year, and it just so happened to be the team across the way from us. And heck, they tied the school record for wins. They won 27 straight games. We play a tough schedule. We do that to try to get to this point. And we couldn't quite get over the hump of. This is the 4th time we've been here and hadn't quite gotten over that hump. It was better this year, So.
Got a question from Shannon and Aaron.
Coach and then Austin, just talk about how big Austin's triple was in the 5th there. It led to the run there, and you got back into things there. Just talk about how big of a hit that was.
Yeah, Max came in saying, Coach said, can't see the ball now if he saw his white shirts. And sure enough, we hit a pop fly out there, and the guy never sees it, and you can tell him. We cut it down to 1 run right there, and had some momentum, and then they came back and got one back, and kind of squashed our momentum a little bit. But that was really big, in that situation. Even till the last out, we had a chance. Just like I said, just couldn't string enough hits together. We didn't have 3 hits on things.
Austin, if you would just talk about how big that.
I run everything out. Every hit, pop up, ground ball, whatever. And I kind of just peeked up, and he was probably 20 yards away from the ball. Ball was going over his head, and so I looked up at Coach Dearman, and he's sending me to third.
Okay,
Matt, you gathered the kids up before the start at the bottom of the 7th, brought them out of the dugout, had huddle. The game's still on the line. You're not out of the game at all. Would you share what you talked about and what you told them in that game situation? I don't know. It's too early to talk about. Hey, it's been a great year.
Basically, we told them, said, look, guys. All these guys play football. Cassius on one on the whole team that didn't, but we were down 28-0 at the half in football, and those guys, I knew that they remembered that, and this is no quit attitude. Guys, we got 3 outs left, and it's not over till the last out's recorded. And so that's what we talked about. Just using that as a kind of motivation to get us going, so.
Would both of the players address that little meeting there about how much it
Yeah,
maybe did inspire you, what that was all about?
It was pretty much just telling us, we've been in bigger games than this, and, I never gave up in them, I don't think they ever gave up in us, there's no doubt in my mind, I know we could've won that game, but, some things just didn't go our way today. We've had times where things went our way last week, and football season just, but, there's nothing I would change this season. Playing with them guys for my high school career, proud of the way we played this week.
Cash, I know you weren't a football guy, but you said you were in that huddle, so what did you think as he was explaining that stuff to you?
I kind of understand because I heard a lot of people on that day of the championship football game that was like, oh, Piedmont's getting beat 28-0. We're just going to turn it off, what y'all want to go do, stuff like that. But I kept up with it, and I was like, my boys got it because I know my senior group, and I know we've always been that type that don't stop until the last second or the last out recorded.
And then how did that kind of translate through to the baseball? Because you had 3 outs to go, and I'm sure you wanted to rally.
Yes, sir. We all wanted to rally. We was trying to find a hit. We needed a few of them to go in order, but we couldn't find it and couldn't get the momentum back towards our side.
Got a question, Joe?
Could you all of you kind of sum up the last 4 years of the program, just 2 state runner-ups, 2 county championships? I know you would have liked to have had the chance to finish out 2020, but just kind of sum up what these last 4 years have been for Piedmont baseball.
Yeah, it's just a blessing to be these guys, Coach, they lay it on the line every day, practice. Hey, it's been an amazing run, it's not over. I like Piedmont baseball, that's the thing about us in football, baseball, basketball, doesn't matter. People always say, oh, this is going to be Piedmont's down there, it's going to be their down year. Well, I hope people keep thinking that because we have guys like this right here that they think, hey, it's my turn, we try to get involved in the youth and keep them, around these guys right here to learn from them. And, this group was really special. These guys were in, I guess y'all were in 7th grade when I started, became the head coach. And so, this was the first group that we, as a head coach, I'd seen all the way through. I was assistant to Coach Blanchard before that. And so it meant a lot to me for this group. I thought, man, this is going to be the year we get over the hump because, they were really tough all year long. It's backs against the wall. I always knew we had a chance. Every time we found a way to claw ourselves out of the hole or, just never gave up. So, as your coach, you can't. I couldn't ask for any more out of our players.
Joe had a follow-up, I think.
To Cash and Austin, the same question.
The past 4 years have been a blessing. I've learned a lot from these coaches, and I hope the kids, that are playing next year, I hope they learn a lot too. That 9th grade class is something special. We started a catcher, a pitcher, and a kid that was running bases for us, and man, I'm just proud of the way that we played this year. Not just this year, but my whole high school career, and the seniors that have stuck around with me and Cash. It's a great friendship and bond that we've had.
Cash.
These 4 years have been great. Coach gave me, Austin, another senior, the same chance in 9th grade to move up, play with the big dogs. We got to see some assistant coaches when they played at state championship, and it's kids right behind us doing the same thing. We're just going to keep going the same way, keep being the same ball team.
Got a question here, then a question there.
You guys both alluded to, and Coach mentioned a little bit, talk about what is coming up next year for you guys, what you guys, are confident, what you want to see from the program moving forward.
Us being gone, it's never about you. It's never been about you when you're at Piedmont, and when you do things for the team, that's when your name will start popping up. But I just hope to see them grow as a team, and I felt like that's what I've done in every sport that I've played this year, and I'm just super proud of it.
Same thing Austin said. I see a lot of them young kids already as leaders. They own us sometimes. If we're not acting right at practice or if we're not up in the dugout, we got 9th graders that'll get on everybody's butt for not showing any energy and stuff like that. So, I couldn't be more proud for the younger classmen.
Joe had a question, and then we got one from Al.
Cash, early in the game, you made a diving attempt to get to first base and stayed down pretty long. What happened Did it have any impact on you, pitching today?
I mean, it really didn't have any impact, but when I went to dive, foot kind of went sideways, but the tape kept it pretty stable. But I mean, it hurt bad, but like I had to get up, play for my boys.
Austin, the play late in the game up the middle, you remember, help me with that a little bit, I think. What, McLean and y'all were going for it at the same time, you had to outrace the guy to get to
Yeah,
the bag and
well-
he beat you. Help me through that whole thing, cause they.
Ball was hit up the middle, and so I heard him call ball, so I kind of veered off, let the ball pass and veer off, and he grabbed it and he tagged second base, and the umpire's sitting there asking if he's got the ball in his hand, and he's got it, and then he calls him safe, and I just I don't know, I don't like that.
I don't know so much of whether, you know, I just didn't know who was grabbing the ball.
Yeah, he called it, he did the right thing, he called it. And it was a forced play, so all he had to do was tag the bag. He did a great job. I personally thought he got there, and it would have ended the inning, and I think they ended up wanting to run that in. But, you know, can't go back and fix it now.
Yeah.
But it was a great play by Mohan, and, man, I played with Mohan since last year. I'm so proud of him. He's going to be at shortstop next year, and I just can't wait to see him play.
Because that's the kind of effort you're talking about there, trying to get something that really that ball could have been in center field.
Oh, yeah.
And it looked like it was going in center field, but that was that kind of effort's what's mirrored this team all year.
Oh, yeah.
Well, listen, I know y'all want to get back with your team, and congratulations again, Coach, appreciate